Working on a bench issue that we see in a lot of people. Booth, experienced lifter, good bencher, was working at 185, 190 and starts getting some pain through the shoulder. Capable of doing more, but we don't want to train through pain, right? We want to have very high standards. We want to have good muscle engagement standards. We want to have a good form standard, so we're not helicoptering out. And then the other thing I think a lot of people are missing is a pain standard. We want to make sure that anything that we're doing, we're not experiencing pain. Soreness is fine, pain, no good, because it's just going to get worse over time. So if we look at the shoulder, I'm just going to jump on this side here. We found that at a particular weight, about 165, the shoulder doesn't get pissed off as much. So if you replicate like a bench press for me, when he pulls down, likely at 165, he can retract these shoulder blades. And let's just turn you to the side a little bit here. Good, like that. Cool, nice. He can retract these shoulder blades, and then these muscles in the back are engaged, and these aren't going to get as pissed off. At a certain weight, he might not have the strength back here, and what will happen is this shoulder will start to internally rotate or dump forward. This area gets kind of pissy, overworked, and then we start having that flare up on the shoulder. The drill here that we're going to work on is actively really pinching those shoulder blades back and getting these muscles to engage so these muscles can relax a little bit more on the front side. Two things we can do. The first thing is we're going to limit the bench press to whatever the pain standard is and work on these muscles. So we'll do that. We found 165 is probably going to be a sweet spot for him. So he's built up the strength in 185. He's capable of doing more. So what we can do now is limit the range of motion. So if you pop in on the bench, we'll use something like a bench block, and we have a bunch of different like sizes here. What we'll do is we'll change it over to the 6-inch. We can start there. And so this way we limit the range of motion on the bench press. One down, good. And then this is a safe level where he doesn't get pissed off at 185 pounds and beyond. So we can still progress up with a, I'm gonna adjust this just a little bit, good. So you can come down and it'll be more like that, yeah. So this way we can still progress up, one on the regular bench press down to the chest, and then the other version back and rack it up, cool. With some type of limited range of motion that doesn't cause pain. Things you can work on. So the first one is going to be that active. So we pull from the side, we're actively pulling back. You could probably do this without any weight whatsoever to just work on these muscles to engage, and you will feel these things really spasming out if you have engagement. So we're looking, if we turn you this way, I'm really looking for these shoulder blades pinched together, these muscles down here, this low trap muscle to really pull back. And that's going to open up that front side of the shoulder quite a bit. Once this becomes easy, good, we can go over to the crossover symmetry bands, and then we'll set you up here. Now we can actually load this in a small range of motion. Good, pull back, pull back, pull back. Excellent, good, right in there, good, cool. So now we're working on this very, very small active range of motion. Now come out to my hand, perfect, and then back in, active pull, excellent, good, cool. So what's usually going to happen is you're super strong out here and you use so much momentum and you just kind of like dump the shoulders forward. But here we can work on the weakest link or the weakest range of motion in that row pattern and mimic the bench press. Whereas a lot of times we're rowing with the elbows close to the body and you're really strong in this pattern, but it doesn't really mirror what the bench press is. So we're trying to get the opposite side. I'm good, pull back a little more, good, perfect, and relax. Good workout. Yeah, cool. If you're having issues with your bench press, especially shoulder pain, anterior, front side of the shoulder here, this is usually a really helpful thing. Again, most of it's going to be back work engagement. So if you're having issues and you're a coaching client, just flag down your coaches and we'll work you through this and maybe split out exercises, assign some crossover symmetry work, show you some block benches, those kind of things. And if you're not, play around with it on your own.